Welcome to the More Than Breaking Tables podcast, a show about what really makes up the greatest fan base in the NFL. We're talking football with experts and fans from around the country. Here's your host and proud member of Bills Mafia, Connor Kobus.
What up, Bills Mafia? Connor Kobus here on another Tuesday evening with More Than Breaking Tables. With me, as always, is my co-host, Pasquale Maggiore. And today we have a guest, super fan of the Buffalo Bills, Jake Wolfram. Jake, thanks for joining the show.
Hey, how's it going? Great to be here.
Jake, I'm going to start you off with a quick trivia question. You've been watching football most of your life, right?
Right.
How many halves are there in a football game?
At least 4. 2. There's
two halves. Two halves. All right. Well, somebody might want to tell the Bills there's a first half, and they might want to tell the Bills' opponents and everybody who roots against the Bills that there's a second half. The Patriots game was a roller coaster of a game. We're going to break that down. Pasquale, division was on the line for the Patriots. We knew how big they needed that game. What are your opening thoughts?
Yeah, we stopped them from getting out their ugly T-shirts and hats. So that's a good thing. Mission accomplished.
The Patriots were talking about Drake May, and he started out hot. I mean, they went up 21-0. They were printing T-shirts. I'm sure Dave Portnoy was firing off. I mean, it couldn't have went better from a Bills standpoint in the second half. Josh just literally took over.
Yeah, he became Josh Allen, and I believe he's got a lot of work to do to catch Matt Stafford, but number 2 for sure when it comes to the MVP vote. I don't see anybody else that could even be close to what he's doing. These last few games pretty much exemplifies why he is pretty much one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I haven't really had a chance to watch much of Stafford, just hearing secondhand, seeing highlights, things like that. I guess he's got it locked up. They're doing some strong stuff. I guess you could call it East Coast bias, but we can hold on hope. These next 3 games could be epic, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, and with the Bills beating the Patriots, they're still alive for the division. Jake, do you think Josh is capable of winning back-to-back MVPs?
Yeah, I think so, especially showing what he showed in the last couple games in the second half, coming back, really taking games over and going Superman mode, you know what I mean? But he's putting the whole team on his shoulder. He doesn't have a cast of superstars to do it with, except for Cook. But, he's doing it all himself for the most part.
Yeah, and big news with Josh Allen that we didn't really touch on, but he's going to be a dad next year. So that was big news in this news cycle for Bills fans that they were talking about. Do you think that's any sort of impact on him as a player now that that's kind of out in the air?
Well, I mean, it's got to be on his mind constantly, and you got to worry about focus too. But it looks like he's still focused on the game. He hasn't had a lot of distractions off the field, which is a good thing. But he's got to be thinking about his girlfriend his wife and the new kid along the way. But he's obviously not thinking about his future with football yet, because he's still playing Superman mode, and taking games over.
Yeah, and just like Pasquale said, with the Stafford and Allen race with 3 games to go, a lot still to be decided. The Bills are alive for the division. That's still out there, which would be a great comeback steal if we could come chase the Patriots down. The Rams are one of the better teams in the league, so our ultimate goal as Bills fans is obviously the Super Bowl, but these individual awards for Allen, I think we can all get behind as a fan base.
Yeah, I don't know if
sure.
myself, I've been told that when you become a father or you're expecting to be a father, you change your priorities in life. You maybe focus a little bit differently. Maybe he's dialed in and he's like, I got to get over this hurdle before my wife pops out that child.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be the second ring he's gotten in less than a year, getting married and winning a Super Bowl, which is our ultimate goal. So right now the vibes in Buffalo are high. I want to touch on Patriots fans because we've dealt with different people being in our way as Bills fans since 2020, and this run has happened. The Chiefs and the Ravens and the Bengals. The Patriots being good again. I'm sorry, I saw the video from Dave Portnoy just declaring the game over and saying they were kicking our ass. I don't think I've ever been more satisfied to see somebody eat their words more than him in all of New England, beating Diggs and the Patriots. That was the biggest come from behind victory in Gillette Stadium.
You can go, Jake.
Yeah, Portnoy's kind of a tool. He talked a big game, but knowing we're a second half team and we've carried the trophy for about 4 or 5 years now. Don't count out Josh, man. 6'5", 230. You can't you can't count that boy out. And these new kids on the block that they think they are, new kids. That's another Boston reference to that really, really awesome band. Joking, but it was like you said, it was great to see him eat crow and to build for the Bills and Bills Mafia to shut him up.
Pasquale, he's another media member. What do you think about him and his antics?
I don't have a problem with him in general, but yeah, he's a typical Boston fan. I mean, Red Sox fans, they talk a lot of crap. Patriots fans talk a lot of crap. Celtics fans talk a lot of crap. Does Boston have a hockey team? I don't pay attention to hockey.
Exactly. One thing he did bring up, and I want to get your guys' take on this. He claims, as a diehard Patriots fan, he has 6 rings. What are your thoughts as being a fan of a sports team and claiming championships as your own, although you don't play for that team?
I mean, he is pretty close to the ownership there, so
Yeah.
How do we know that he doesn't have a ring? I heard Coach JB from Last Chance U go off on that whole situation. Not really going to hold that against him. We always speak as we, as a fan base, a lot of times. And again, that relationship, you never know what he's got in his safe, his vault, his trophy case. You never know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a cool way. When you talk about sports teams, you like to say we a lot. I mean, the fans are a part of the team. That without fans, there is no professional sport. So it's an interesting take on that. But I think we are going to take down the Patriots, but we're going to need some help along the way. They play the Jets and the Dolphins. We know how shitty those teams are. I still look back to the Dolphins loss and can't believe that game even happened. So 3 more to go. Pasquale, do you think the odds of winning out are highly likely for this Bills team?
Yeah, I do. Cleveland Sunday. Let's stop joking around about it. There's no way they lose that game.
Right.
Eagles game is going to be a bit of a challenge. Their offense is in disarray, as some people would like to say, but you never know. They can throw it together, but we're home. We got the momentum going here. And then, I mean, the Jets in the last week of the season, last game at Highmark Stadium, don't even play the game. Let's just celebrate the last day at Highmark Stadium because that's just
Jets. Well, isn't it kind of funny? I mean, Pasquale, me and you talked at the beginning of the season, and we were so confident in the Bills, thinking we would have clinched something by then and it would be a meaningless game. But the way things can materialize, that could be a win and you win the division last week of the season, which I think would be a kick-ass way to rain out Highmark Stadium. And Jake, I'll kind of kick it to you. You've been to a bunch of different Bills games. The new stadium's coming up next year. This is our last year. I feel like it's a storybook ending to win the Super Bowl in our final year at this stadium. You're a super fan. You moved to Arizona. Talk to me about this latest run the Bills are going on and why this could be the year.
Well, to come down to the wire, for the division is great, but I'm looking and hoping for maybe a home game in the playoffs. Any way we can get one, that'd be a great way to send it out. Maybe get the AFC Championship game there, take down the post for one more time, throw them out the stadium one more time, maybe hit your car in the parking lot one more time, and then really send that stadium off on a good note. You know what I mean? We've had so many incredible memories there, from me ripping out seats in the rock pile to other shenanigans that went on in that stadium that are great, wonderful memories. But yeah, man, if we could send that stadium off the right way with a championship, dude, there's nothing better than that. And to break in the new stadium as Super Bowl champions, man, that'd be a great start.
Yeah. Speaking of taking parts of the stadium, do you have any interest in taking a seat with you, Pasquale, from the new stadium, or purchasing anything like that?
I'm going through a thing where I'm purging a lot of collectibles that I have accumulated and things like that. So as much as I would like to do that, I just don't want to add another asset to my back bedroom here. You can see over my shoulder there, I have a little shrine to Josh Allen on that second shelf. But yeah, I want something, but I don't think I want a seat. Give me a portion of the goalpost. Give me something from the turf, something like that. Maybe a disgusting sign from the disgusting concession stands of like some kind of burger or something like that. But I don't think I want a chair. No.
Well, you know what's pretty sick? Somebody mentioned getting the urinal trough that's in the men's bathroom. That'd be pretty sick. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Would you want one of those in your apartment?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
That'd
I'd
be
piss in that every day.
Piece of Bills history. So talk to me about the fans we talk about Bills fans being all around the country. Do you get a lot of that in Arizona, or do you still need to come back to Buffalo to truly feel like you're connected to the team?
Dude, one great thing about being abroad is always going up to people in the streets and going, "Go Bills," to get, people that obviously have hats on, and then seeing how other people react to it for other fan bases. Because you never hear somebody saying like "Go Pats" or "Go Pack" or something. I mean, maybe "Go Pack," but especially not Cowboys fans, or definitely not Arizona Cardinals fans. But yeah, dude, people respect our pride. I see a lot of fans out at the bars every Sunday with their red, white, and blue on. I'm always finding somebody either at the hospitals I work at that have some Bills gear on that I say, "Go Bills" to, and we chat about. But yeah, a great place again was in Vegas. I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago to watch the game, and there's a great Bills backers bar down there that they have this big semi that's all decked out in Bills stuff parked there every day. So it's you wherever you go, dude, Bills Mafia follows.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the following's even increased since the Allen era has kind of happened. Some other news from around the league. Pasquale, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers came out of retirement. Did you catch any of those highlights? He was coaching high school football. Now he's trying to make the playoffs again. What's your take on Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, he looked very uncomfortable. He looked very stiff. He looked very firm. He looked very...
Put on some LBs.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Man's 44 years old, so anybody that's going to go out there and get at it at that age, I'm totally fine with it. Big fan of Aaron Rodgers at age 42, still doing it, but he just looked very... I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm not sure if he's planning on starting this upcoming game this weekend, but, I mean, time will tell.
Yeah, they're going to go with him again. And it was crazy. They were winning the game with 30 seconds left. So he did it, throwing underneath balls, nothing crazy, but blast from the past. Now I hear stuff like Ben Roethlisberger saying his right arm's still good. What are we doing? What are these guys calling it quits? I don't know. I think I've seen enough of that era of quarterbacks and Tom Brady retiring, Manning retiring. I think we move on to a new set. Pro Bowl awards are coming up. All pros are coming up. It seems like the two Bills that are a lock for postseason awards are Allen and Cook. Talk to me about what you guys think of the talent level of those two guys when you talk about the Bills being not the most talented team in the league, however, being third in the Super Bowl odds.
Well, Cook, I would like to see Cook win the rushing title this year. That'd be great. Get it maybe a first-team All-Pro for him. Get Allen a first-team All-Pro. That'd be great too. But as far as MVP goes, it's kind of similar to last year's MVP win. He doesn't have a supporting cast except for Cook, so I think it's doable. And back-to-back is not bad at all.
Yeah, and I mean with the MVP award, it's a lot of narrative based. So Josh won it last year. Do they want to give it to him? Stafford's never won it. He's having a great year. Who knows how that's going to play out? I know we don't have to worry about Lamar Jackson winning the award this year because the Ravens not having a good year. We shall see, but still 3 weeks to go. Browns defense going to be tough. Myles Garrett's going for the sack record. Definitely going to have to come ready to play against that Cleveland defense, right, Jake?
Yeah, Garrett's having a great year, but a little worried because we saw what the Texans did. I know they don't have two ends that can rush the passer like the Texans do, but Garrett's a monster, man. let's bring him in next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was on
Let's
the
get him to
trade
Buffalo.
deadline. Get him to Buffalo. 3-0 the Bills are since McDermott stopped wearing the glasses. Are we a fan of this? Should he stick with not wearing glasses?
Yeah, I didn't like those glasses anyway, so they those clear glass frames, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Don't change it up. Let's go without the glasses. Pasquale, will you be getting playoff tickets if we are home?
Yeah, I believe I have an obligation to do so, so I will be doing that.
Nice. And are you going to the last 2 games of the year, Eagles and Jets?
Yes, I am, and I'm going to Cleveland this Sunday, so
You are?
yes.
Nice. How many games does that make for you this year? You went to Pittsburgh, Carolina.
But I didn't go to Tampa Bay, and there's another game I don't think I went. I don't remember. It's Tampa Bay, and then what other game didn't I go to? All over the place. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's been a crazy year.
I'm thinking about the whole conversation about James Cook as MVP, and I heard somebody bring that up this week, and I couldn't disagree more. We're talking about the year 2024. Saquon Barkley finished 3rd in MVP voting, and he had a remarkable year. His stats were up there.
Uh-huh.
You know, how far Philadelphia went. As much as somebody might want to make an argument to create a conversation to put James Cook in the MVP conversation, I don't see it at all. I think, obviously you look at quarterback first, and then you work your way down from there. So I think that take that person had was pretty stupid.
I agree with you. It's been the way the NFL is. It's turned into a quarterback award. And unless you're really over the top, setting a record-breaking season, it's tough to give it to another skill position because of how much the quarterbacks factor into wins and losses, having the ball in their hands all the time. And Jake, Josh Allen's pretty fucking awesome. Don't you agree?
Yeah, he's pretty fucking awesome. Guy's a monster, dude. He's an alien. He's a freak. All right. I knew from day one when we drafted him that was the guy. Rosen, no chance in hell. There was a couple of our buddies were all pissed off that Rosen didn't get drafted by us. But dude, when I saw him in the combine and all those videos, man, you can't not choose a 6'5" horse like that and not ride that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and with the way the playoffs are shaping up, people are starting to say, could this be the year? So it's definitely exciting. Still 3 weeks to go. I'm sure we're going to have a good fan base in Cleveland for that game. We should take care of business. But with the way these slow starts are happening, you're playing with fire if you think you're going to go into a playoff game and be down 14-0 to a legitimate team and just snap your fingers and come back. So I'm really hoping I see some strong first half efforts the rest of the season so that we don't play from behind all the time.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that with Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. I don't know if you've seen their offense. I think we could probably pretty much sleepwalk through the first 3 quarters and then wake up in the 4th quarter. Maybe even, start our second stringers the first 3 quarters, put Josh in the 4th quarter, win the game, give these guys a little bit of a breather. I don't understand why anybody in their right mind would even think that Cleveland has a chance on this Sunday. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And
I don't know. ESPN. It's stupid.
Yeah, I saw Shedeur Sanders had one game where he threw for 300 yards. So I'm like, is this kid any good? And then he just looked like dog shit the next week. So yes, I fully agree the Bills are going to dominate this game from start to finish. They know what's in front of them now. They can smell the division. I want those T-shirts. I want those hats. Jake, you're wearing some great Bills gear right now. Where did you get that hat from?
Dude, this hat's 47 brand. I got it a couple years ago. They had like a Thanksgiving hat when we had a Thanksgiving game a couple years ago. I think it was against Dallas that game, and I didn't buy it in time, and I found this one, so it's pretty sweet, right?
I like it a lot, definitely. You 47 shirts you were mentioning the brand, and there's so many nostalgic Bills gear to rep from the years of this franchise being around. So that's definitely huge, and we're crossing our fingers for Super Bowl T-shirts.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. I don't want division T-shirts. I want Super Bowl T-shirts.
Yeah.
part of these division wins.
You're an apparel guy,
Let's go for
Pasquale.
it all.
What would you get if this team did win a Super Bowl? What would you add to your Bills collection? We know you have a great background in your studio with collectibles and jerseys. So what would you add to your collection if a Bills won a Super Bowl?
Just a Nike sideline T-shirt, maybe a hoodie. I'm a big
Keep
fan
it
of
simple.
Nike sideline stuff.
Nice. Well, are we putting? What'd you say?
I was gonna direct the show in another
Sure,
direction.
go ahead.
Finish your thought.
No, I was just going off on the color rush jerseys that we wore against the Patriots, and if those should be retired.
Yeah, they should be fucking burned.
Yeah.
These assholes that are
Agreed.
parading around in these ugly jerseys, fuck off.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. They did the Bills nothing.
You know what? I know somebody, and I'm gonna choose to remain to keep his name anonymous. He has a Keon Coleman rush jersey of that color, and I think that's a really stupid fucking purchase.
Sounds like an asshole to me.
You know
You know
who
what
you
thing
are.
to like with another
I know
like
who he
argument
is.
about like these jerseys is like they're so easy to get stained. We're talking
Yeah,
about
all whites for
tailgate with
sure.
queso, with chili, pizza, wings, sausage. Like you're asking for trouble. You're gonna go out and spend $150 or whatever on a white jersey and not expect to get that damaged.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And although we talk, I am super pumped for the red helmets at the end of the year. That's going to be
That's a
awesome.
different story, though.
We
That's
can
different.
agree on that. I mean, we're talking the same helmet that Doug Flutie wore. Josh is going to be wearing it. Oh my God, like that's goosebumps. I'm very excited about that. Crazy. I mean, it's been a crazy
That's gonna
weekend.
bring back some
Listen,
thoughts, nostalgia, man.
yeah, listen. I mean, I'll be honest. I got to get this off my chest. I mean, we had a roller coaster Bills win where my mood was changing, and to cap Saturday night off before John Cena taps out to end his career. Pasquale, what kind of a message do you think that sends to our younger generation about giving up?
I'm gonna say what you said before. This is not a wrestling broadcast.
Okay.
I just want to run something really quick while we let's talk a little bit more about New England. Let's listen to this audio, and I want to hear your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this.
It is a difficult job. They do have a difficult job. The consistency, sometimes I struggle with it. Whether I'll say this: the Bills lead the NFL in offensive holding, and I'll leave it at that.
All right.
And that would be hard for me to understand how the team that is coming into the game, leading, and that's how they play, didn't have one yesterday.
All right.
So
Well,
that's
second-
hard for me to understand.
So that's Mike Vrabel from WEEI in Boston. I watched the whole interview, and it was very awkward to watch him sit there and squirm and twitch and stare off into space. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with him, but there was another player, something by the last name of Wiggins, who played for the Patriots maybe for like 3 games. Now he's on the broadcast team, trying to guide Mike Vrabel into a direction where he would talk about the officials. Not really a big fan of that whole setup. I'm not sure if you guys heard that comment throughout the course of the week, but what are your thoughts on, Vrabel taking the cheap and easy way out and talking about the refs in that situation?
I was a little shocked by it. I actually liked Vrabel a lot. Thought he was a good hire for the job. I just think that's really going after low-hanging fruit. I mean, calls, there could be a holding call on every play. The Bills did get a penalty on a touchdown they scored. They brought it back 10 yards. Josh threw a touchdown pass to Knox on 3rd and goal. So I just think you had a 21-point lead. There's a lot more that happened to that game. The Bills scored 5 straight touchdowns. So I just don't think that was that big of a deal. Another play people are talking about was the catch/interception. It was pass interference regardless. But I just think you're making excuses, and it's bullshit.
There's one play that I will call out the officials for that I thought was horrible, and that's going to set a precedent going forward, is the pass interference call when Coleman should have caught that ball, but he dropped the ball because the defender was on his back. I don't feel like that was egregious enough to make the pass interference call. So again, I don't know where he came up with that whole argument about the holding situation. Obviously, he was doing his research, but Dawkins had that like basically like pancake block where he landed on top of the defender. So I don't know. He's just a lot of sour grapes, and I too like the fact that Vrabel's in our division. Mike McDaniel, useless, not really a rival. I would consider formidable, but if McDermott goes to the center of the field with Vrabel, if McDermott goes to shoot a double leg, I feel like Vrabel would do whatever he could to get McDermott off, and I think we'd have a pretty good battle. But whatever, Glenn in New York and McDaniel with the Jets, no thank you. Vrabel does put up quite a challenge, though, and I do like that.
Yeah, definitely makes the division more legitimate when you win it. Also, some popping of champagne, so to speak, for Bills fans. With the Chiefs being eliminated from playoff contention, the Bills will still be the only team that has made it to 4 straight Super Bowls. Something to be proud about. I mean, we wanted to win one of those, but definitely didn't want to see the Chiefs going to 4 in a row.
Well, it shows just how hard it is to do,
Yeah, and
and how
McDermott
good of a record that is.
McDermott said it wouldn't be done, and I thought he was jinxing them, but looks like he was right.
Yeah, I'm a little disgusted by some people actually kind of celebrating the Mahomes injury too. Like,
Yes,
really?
absolutely. Yep, it's
Disgusting.
that's not. You
Yeah,
want to
that's
beat something.
push.
You want to. I want him to be healthy and just get beaten straight up. Like, you don't root for injuries. Terrible. He's still a great part of the league. He draws a lot of eyeballs. Good quarterback, but yeah, that sucks for that fan base, and we just got to focus on us and taking care of the teams in front of us.
That's right.
And I keep calling him Micah Hyde, but I mean Micah Parsons. Did you see that knee injury?
That was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough as well. The number of Achilles tears and ACL injuries in the NFL.
ACLs. Yeah.
Jake, you're a doctor. Talk to me about those injuries from athletes and why they're so frequent in the sports industry.
Well, it's chronic. It's chronic injury and degeneration in those soft tissues, especially in the Achilles. You get minor tears, and then finally it decides to go, especially after abrupt stop and go maneuvers. But it is tough. It's something that really ultimately it can be delayed, but not ultimately prevented. Right? We can stretch, we can stay conditioned, but once you get those that dystrophy in the Achilles, especially, it'll go eventually.
That's Dr. Jake giving some medical information here on More Than Breaking Tables.
And the ironic part about these two injuries too is you have people talk about the dangers of a turf field. Both these injuries happened on a grass field.
Grass field, yeah.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I know there's been some deal with MetLife Stadium with a bunch of injuries in that surface. What is going to be the surface on the new stadium? I forget.
It's grass.
It is going to be grass.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jake, do we like grass better for our athletes?
Yeah, we like grass. Way
None of
better.
that.
It gives more grip. I mean, unless you're like the Steelers and it's all getting beaten to shit every weekend. But I mean, we don't have college playing there all the time. We're not going to have a lot of. Concerts will happen, but they do that at Soldier Field too, in Chicago. But I don't think our turf is going to be torn up. So I think it's going to be a lot healthier for our athletes.
And that's what we like to see. As we're winding down our episode, 3 games left to go into the regular season. The Ravens game, if the Bills take care of business, the Ravens-Patriots game means nothing. Where do you see a more likely chance at a Patriots loss, Pasquale? At the Jets or home against the Dolphins? Because we're going to need help.
I think they'll lose against the Dolphins, and then they'll lose that Ravens game as well.
Okay, so you have them losing 2 out of 3. That would give the Bills the AFC East crown for the 6th straight year. And talk about having some more home games at Highmark Stadium in the postseason. The AFC Championship game that we want here, that could be in front of us if we take care of business.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jake, for joining the show. That's going to do it for More Than Breaking Tables. Pasquale, I'll pitch to you for any plugs before we head out.
WNY Wrestler on Instagram. I deleted my X account, so if you want to find out more information about everything, WNY Wrestler on Instagram.
I'm at Connor Cobus 17 on Instagram. Jake, who do you want to shout out? I mean, you're kind of a big deal now that you're on More Than Breaking Tables.
I want to shout out my cousins, Pete and Mike, my mom and dad. Give glory all to God, and my girlfriend Rox, who's a new member of the Bills Mafia. She's from England, so a big soccer fan, but she's in it to win it, man, with the Bills. she's taking them on really, really nicely.
Hell yeah, let's get it
So I'm
done
proud
this
of
year.
her.
All right, thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.